Hey, good to be with you. Now, I mean, you are definitely a recurring guest right here on the Morning Update Show and in the Black Media Matter Studios. But I just want to say, while I have you here, thank you for these amazing Throwback Thursday segments. They are so impactful and insightful about the ways that we have really helped to shape what history looks like and where we are today. So thank you.
Well, thank you, because it is an honor to be in the studio and in front of this fantastic mural wall. And all the support that I have from the studio crew. I mean, Salman and then Ruben coming in with the editing on it and making me look real good. So I absolutely love it.
Well, we appreciate it, and I think it's so necessary. And so, just talking to Gwen there about Washington State Historical Society.
Yeah.
I mean, there who knew that there was this many people and groups working on history? Tell us about how Black Heritage Society is involved with this Green Book Motorist exhibit.
Right. Well, first of all, just huge props and thanks to Washington State Historical Society for reaching out to BHS to be a partner on the exhibition and developing some of the public programming around the exhibition. It's been, tremendous and fun for us in that respect. So the Negro Motorist Green Book, the exhibition, BHS knew about it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We were anticipating this exhibition coming to Washington State. And when we heard that the Washington State Historical Society was going to be hosting it, then, I started shooting emails, I think, to Gwen, like, like early on, like, hey, here we are, we would love to support it. So um, we've really been building beyond a partnership but a friendship.
It's important. I think this kind of work is, if nothing more, it's relational. I mean, if you're really
Yes.
being intentional, as Gwen was saying there,
Mhm.
about how you guys are approaching this exhibit. But
Yes.
also, I love how you said that, that
Mhm.
it's beyond, a partnership, but a friendship.
Yeah.
And we know that Black Heritage Society has been, literally keeping Black stories and culture and history alive. And as Gwen said, doing it for a very long time.
Mhm.
When we think about the ways that you're able to make these kind of partnerships happen, tell us a little bit about, what the logistics kind of behind it are. Are they handling certain areas of this while Black Heritage Society is doing other parts? Tell us more about that.
It definitely is a collaboration. It's a collective of all of our energies, coming together. And when I walked in the studio a little earlier today, and who you don't see, um, on set is Juliana, who's been working in marketing at the Historical Society. And she said, well, you know what? I think we should have had an office here for you, like, at least pop in once a week. So I'm feeling really embraced by them. And um, the the way that we contribute, again, it's a collective, and particularly on the Green Book exhibition, um, it's fantastic and has been fantastically curated through the Smithsonian, the traveling exhibition here, the historical society taking it on and doing a more local interpretation with it as well. So some of the artifacts have come out of the Black Heritage Society to support the exhibition, and we have photographs of local places. And um, what I absolutely love is the soda fountain mixer, the mixing machine that we loaned out that was at Bishop's Pharmacy on Jackson from the 1930s, 40s, and forward even into the 60s. Bishop's Pharmacy was there, and they were, one of those businesses that was in the Green Book.
Well, I've heard so much about bishops. This is really exciting. I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about some of the artifacts that I know people, with COVID, Black Heritage Society had to shut down, kind of opening it up
yeah,
to the public. And so
yeah,
the fact that you guys have some amazing artifacts that are now going to be showcased in this exhibit, I think it's really special,
right.
particularly, as we're still kind of dealing with this pandemic, but we're getting to another side of it where now people can really experience some of the amazing artifacts artifacts that you guys all have over there at BHS?
Right. Well, again with the exhibition, the Negro Motorist Green Book um, was a national book, right? It had all states were encompassed. But when Washington State, when we can see ourselves there and have people recognize, well, first of all, Washington State in the Green Book, like, why? I'm like, because why? It too was a place that wasn't absolutely welcoming to Black folks as they traveled, particularly in the 40s and 50s. I mean, we had sundown towns here in Washington State. So when you were traveling from the South or back East, you wanted to know what to expect when you arrived here. So there we were. We had a list of businesses that were beauty shops, restaurants, places to recreate. I mean, just hotels, tourist homes. Women ran tourist homes. I mean, they opened their homes and invited people to stay overnight and fed them these, fabulous meals, those home cooked meals after being on the road for like who knows how long. So, yeah, I think that when people come out and see this exhibition, they're going to see themselves, see their history from Washington State.
Look, I mean, you're describing the original Airbnb.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I've heard Gwen talk about that too. And we realize that, and there is one home that's still standing in Tacoma. We've had a conversation about that, and then one in Everett that was run by a woman who was an advocate for women's rights and the NAACP. Some folks just purchased the home. They're interested in restoring the home. So as this green book is talked about and people are engaging with it more, all of these stories are coming out. Just a couple days ago, too, I want to share this really quickly, is that there was the Idaho Hotel that was in the green book. It's not on the tour currently of the Black and Tan Hall, has that fabulous, Seattle Green Book tour. But the Idaho was run by a Black woman by the name of Birdie Johnson. And I just got a photo of her 2 days ago from her family, and she's standing at the desk of the Idaho Hotel, and it's the 1940s. And so all of these stories, are building and coming out of this Green Book exhibition. The oral histories, you mentioned it earlier. So we got to have them.
We got to have them. And this is why, what excites me about being able to be a part of even like a time capsule project is that,
Yes.
what could I have learned from people 100 years ago,
Right.
Right here in Washington State that were paving the way for, what we see today. And so much of it is that one thing I love about history, it's ever unfolding, right?
Yeah.
It's building upon the histories and the stories and the culture and the narratives of the days before us. And so there's just this constant lineage, I think, when we think about the continuation of our lives and the continuation of time. There's so many different things to learn from the past.
Right. We're making history every day.
Yeah.
Right. And we know that. And there was a quote that I heard, and I repeat it often, is that we don't repeat history. History rhymes. So it continues, it moves, it flows. And I think that's the way to appreciate it. And when young people can see themselves as part of the past, the current, but also the future, that's what gets me excited about, being around history. And on May 19th, coming up May 19th at the museum, at the Washington State History Museum, I'll be joining Jackie Peterson, who I think you know Jackie, will be in conversation with Candace Taylor. So Candace Taylor is a Green Book scholar. She wrote this fabulous book, Overground Railroad, and she's going to be there to tell us all about her journey. She's traveled over 60,000 miles on the road, researching all of these places that are in relation and aligned to the Green Book. So we want everybody to come out and hear Candace, and she's even going to sign books on May 19th, so 5:30.
5:30 at the Washington History
Yes.
Museum.
Yes.
Well, tell us before we let you go, how can people come and see this exhibit? Obviously, May 19th, a huge day.
Hmm.
When does the exhibit open? How can people come? What do they have to do? Just come to the museum? Tell us all about that.
Yeah. So the exhibition will be up and going until June 12th. So everyone has the opportunity to come out between now and June 12th. Yeah, please visit the website for the hours. I think Gwen was sharing that earlier, but on the website, you'll find all the details about programming, public programming. Um, and there's free days, which is really great. So the Candace event is on a free Thursday. So we're welcoming everyone to come out, on May 19th. And in the community, we have another public program before we close everything down with aligned programming. It's at Wanawari on June 4th with Perry Roden. So we're going to be
Wow.
doing this really fabulous and fun arts and crafts project with Perry, and we'll tell you more about it later.
Oh, wow. SJT, you're forever in bed in this community. We so thank you for your work and
Mhm.
for everything that you are pouring into it. Thank you for sharing how Black Heritage Societies are now in partnership and friendship with
Yeah,
Washington State Historical Society.
absolutely.
We appreciate you for everything you bring right here to Converge Media because
Wow.
you are our history guru. So we definitely appreciate you, Auntie.
Yeah, thank you, friend.
Of course.
So, so yeah, so
Yeah.
good to be here.
We appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness.